Lynette, healthcare fraud is a very broad subject matter. What kinds of cases do you see that the government currently investigates?
Well, the cases I handle run the gamut. They could be administrative cases in nature, beginning with a simple records request for medical records, an audit being conducted by a CMS contractor. They could be civil cases, FCA investigations that might include civil investigative demand, or they can be criminal cases. A medical provider may receive a target letter indicating that they're the target of a criminal investigation. So you're right, healthcare fraud really is a broad area.
What are some of the pieces of advice you have for a business owner, medical provider, to avoid the worst case scenario, which is either to lose license and privileges, or even worse, to be part of a criminal investigation or a criminal case?
I think the most important piece of advice I could give is to involve knowledgeable healthcare counsel right away. You cannot take this matter too seriously. As you said, their livelihood, their license could be on the line, and they could be facing potential prison time if it goes wrong. So it's really important to take it seriously and to be proactive from the beginning.
I know you represented providers of all specialties, as well as home health care agencies, hospitals, hospice agencies, literally across the country. Do you see a trend where you could say the government is slowing down with healthcare investigations, or do you see perhaps the opposite, that healthcare fraud is still one of the top topics within Justice Department and law enforcement?
I think that the Justice Department has made healthcare a priority. They've created a healthcare strike force, for example, and they do continue to pursue cases in the healthcare space. Medicare is obviously a very significantly funded government program, and so the Justice Department has taken the position that that's an area of funding that they really need to protect.
One topic that we often see is the confusion where clients are surprised that they get a notice from the FBI or the OIG or even the Justice Department, but they didn't bill Medicare. How does that work?
So the healthcare fraud authority of the Department of Justice is very broad, as we said. So a medical provider could come under scrutiny if they're billing to a federal payer, but even if they're not, now that the law is so broad, they could come under scrutiny just for participating in private healthcare programs. The anti-kickback statute is another example of the authority that allows the Department of Justice to pursue healthcare fraud investigations quite broadly.
What are some of the early signs that a business or an individual is under healthcare fraud investigation, be it civil or criminal, and would you make yourself available to discuss this situation?
Absolutely. I would be happy to provide a consultation whether the provider received an audit request from their UPIC or whether they received a civil investigative demand, or perhaps agents have come on site and want to conduct an inspection of the premises. I would encourage a medical provider to contact our firm so that we can discuss the situation.